Recording in progress. I finally, how do you say it? Set my camera up with manual focus instead of autofocus, which keeps it from shifting colors as much, but it's annoying because every time I turn the camera off, I gotta do the focus, and it's attached to the fucking wall on a mountain. So I can do it. It works, but it is annoying. Anyways, man, dude, not anime related, but fucking Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, that was insane, man.
69 billion cash.
Never
Not
saw.
even stock option. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Did Microsoft they bought Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
Like last year.
Last year. Yeah.
My God.
it's dude. No, this is what you guys don't seem to understand. All these studios, they don't want to sell you games for pennies on a subscription. And so the big guys like Microsoft and Sony been buying them up so they can have more stuff to offer. They're trying to hedge. They're trying to do things differently than what Netflix did when it started this whole subscription entertainment revolution. So I talked a bit about it on yesterday's Daily Cog, trying to figure out when people might be watching this, and kind of even compared it to like Spotify and Amazon Music, where you can stream your music, and how Tidal tried to be a service that could offer more money to the artists, to the musicians, while you, the consumer, would have to pay more, sure, but you would get higher quality music out of the deal, also, and that didn't go well.
I also think it's similar to what Disney did. It's all about the IPs. Like right now, what Microsoft is doing is they're buying up everything that has a name recognition. And, and that, I mean, even if you put out a subpar product, as long as it has that name, you know, they're expecting a return. So it's interesting. They're spending a lot of money, but for the first time in a while, I'm looking at Microsoft and saying, oh man, the next 5-10 years are going to be very interesting.
It doesn't change my life really any as a PC gamer, because I don't need an Xbox to play anything that they will put out. But I think it's hilarious that now Microsoft owns the rights to both Spyro and Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
And with that, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Anime-Versal Reviews podcast, where I promise we don't talk about gaming news every day. That's what the Daily Cup genre is for. But we do talk about anime. We are the anime review podcast for Genreverse Podcast Network, part of LRM Online, sponsored by the good folks over at Grow Generation, where the pros do go to grow. More from them a little bit later. I'm Kyle at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. My significant other, one of the other co-hosts, Christine at Adorable Doom, again not here this week as she is doing better, so hopefully she'll be back next week, and hopefully be back on the Daily Cup of Genre tomorrow as well, or today, whenever you're watching this. But yeah, and then of course our other co-host on the other side of my screen and your guys' screen as well, Brian over PulpMythos on YouTube. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Yeah.
So we're here, guys, to chat about Sabikui Bisco. I think I heard the U pronounced. I'm not 100% sure because it's just one of those weird U's. But anyways, episode 2, guys. Holy fucking shit, Brian.
Dude, I mean, it went from first week I was like, okay, you know, see where it's gonna go, to this week I'm like, what the hell are we watching? but in a good way. Like the opening credits, I was like, oh hell yeah, like I was all into that.
The OP's good, man.
Just it's one of those things where I think I said it last week, it's hard to judge any anime or pretty much any show on the first episode. That's not going to define what it truly is, and I think this episode is probably a better picture of what this show is, and yeah, I'm on board.
I agree with that 100%. Like you said, the OP, the music we'd already heard, but the animation I absolutely loved. I love the way the writing gets put at angles, like it's written on a window or against this animal or whatever. They use layering and the imaginary 3D space in the 2D image very, very, very well. It definitely, like you said, gives us more story without giving us a lot of story. It gives us a lot of character stuff, though. It gives us a lot of character stuff. We got some more hippos, and the line that bastard mobilized the hippos. Like, I used to think one of the funniest lines in media came from the movie Red, when Malcolm not shit, what's his name?
I don't know.
You know who I'm talking about in the movie Red? John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Thank you, John Malkovich. There, I got the Malcolm. What the fuck, Kyle? John Malkovich goes, "Hot damn, I'm getting the pig." It's like, mobilize the hippos, like just things you never thought you would hear someone say.
And it wasn't just like a quick little, there's some hippos. It was a full-blown action sequence.
Yes, with fucking rocket carrying hippos.
Yeah, it was insane.
I think it's fair to say, just on this initial kind of look through the second episode, I'm definitely interested now beyond just the aesthetics, right?
Yeah. This, like I said, this episode, it's like, okay, now we're getting characters, we're getting character development, a little more of a glimpse into this world, and then insane action.
And I kind of broke up my notes into just three parts, basically. The stuff that happens in and around the gate, and then in the middle of the desert, the shit in the city, and then the fight with Pawoo and Bisco. But there at the gate, dude, I like how it brings us back to there. We're doing time jumping again, but it's cool. It's fun. He screwed up. He didn't know any prayers. We learn what's underneath the damn thing. It's the fucking cat crab, Akigara, I think, or Akagawa. I can't remember the name. It's something like that. But the crab's got a name. We see Jobby. Was that his name? I wrote it down. Jobby, the old man. His mentor. We see some really cool fighting going on. The hippo situation, dude. How much would it have sucked to have had mushrooms grow out of you like those poor hippos had to go through? I like the launching, like using the big mushroom to launch themselves over the wall and stuff, and the fact that the crab, dude, the crab's their tank, it's their steed, it was an intense situation, but you get to see kind of the rawness of Bisco himself. Like they utilize that really cool action sequence to actually deliver a little bit more, and that really comes into callback a little bit later when him and Jobby are sitting down having dinner, and he's like, "Oh man, I've turned a sweet kid into an angry man," basically. What'd you think about all of that stuff, man, at the gate?
Yeah, it was great. Like I said, it's showed us what the action is going to be like, I think, for this series. I love archers are sort of cool, and the way they do it is really neat. When I play Assassin's Creed games, archery is my go-to. So yeah, that
like Ghost of Tsushima then. Yeah,
I need to. I know.
And Horizon.
Did you yeah. Well, the new one's coming.
February.
And I love the moment at nighttime where we got a little, it slowed down just briefly, give us a little bit of character development. Okay, sort of this mentor relationship between the two. And then we get another really insane over the top action sequence with the airplane
Yeah, the
attack.
fucking snail, the escargot fighter.
And was that blood? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
dude, it's it's biomechanical.
like,
It's
whoa.
it's a Cylon Raider on steroids.
Yeah, that's a great example. So yeah, we got all that. Yeah, I thought it was interesting the going back and forth with the time, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I like the Jobby character, traditional old mentor type in anime that you see very often. Very, very serious on the inside, but never serious on the outside side.
Roshi.
I expect them to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they also pointed out yet again with the sister last week, the rust is moving towards her heart. They referenced that it's moving towards his lungs.
His lungs.
So clearly, I guess the internal, it's not just on the skin.
No.
It's
nope. And there's other environmental factors like the escargot's weaponry causes an infection in the guy that Bisco and him were taking care of wrongly as they made their way to the city when they meet Milo. But I love this stuff in the desert, like you said at night. I mentioned the little meal and the line where Jobby feels bad for what he's done, and when I saw that, when I watched, because I have to watch these twice. I don't know if you've watched them twice yet, either one of the episodes, but I needed to. That's when the second time I was like, oh, that when Bisco's freaking out about, you should say my name with respect and whatnot. I was like, okay, making some sense here. He's got some potentially righteous indignation, if you will. I dug it, man. I really did. I think the Jobby character could be very well. You mentioned Roshi as a similar character with similar characteristics. But I have a feeling that he could be a really well liked character that you can get a lot from in this world, because he's got a foot in the way things maybe were right after the incident, because he's talking about the old days, so maybe even before the incident. And Bisco's like, I don't want to hear about the old days. Bisco cares for him, though. He's like, I haven't done all this work for you to just die. Yeah. Get over it. Fucking live. So yeah, I dug all of that, man. Getting into part 2, I guess, unless you had anything else that you wanted to bring up there. I didn't.
No.
I'm good. What's up? Oh, Bisco tossing the hippo, dude. He's not just a strong archer. Dude's got some strong strength.
Don't they mention that too? Or somebody... Isn't that reference wow?
The girl, she's like, he's not normal. The pink-haired girl that was flying the escargot plane. I love that. I hate that they called it an escargot fighter, because cargo plane, they should have called it an escargot plane. But anyways, yeah, she mentions that he's not a normal archer. So yeah, I found that interesting, and I'm wondering if that's something all mushroom keepers can do, something only he can do, something mushrooms allow him to do. I don't know, but we'll find out as we can continue to watch. Getting into the next part of this inside the city, we jump to where we kind of left off the last episode with Bisco and Milo in his little hospital. Pawoo's already out hunting for Bisco. We learn a little bit about synthesization of medicine being illegal, so that's a way you can control the populace. There's so many fucking allegory or similarities to realities, so to speak, even though this was not written during the pandemic. The manga that is. a lot of really cool action stuff here, but a lot of really like important world building. One, we learn that the governor has his own private army that's not related to the city guard, the actual watch, I think is what they're called in the series. So Pawoo and her team are actually turned back from guarding the governor's mansion or whatever, because he wants his own private army to do that. And in addition, he doesn't want Pawoo to find Bisco. My guess is that he's aware mushrooms can probably heal rust or take care of rust. She's got that. He doesn't want her finding out things. I don't know, Brian. What do you think's going on with the governor, and the watch and stuff?
Yeah, there's definitely a cover up of some kind, because we're led to believe that the mushrooms are a danger and they're bad and they, I guess, fuel the rust. And yet it's clear that that's not completely the case, because they're used in medicine, and we have our protagonists both using mushrooms. So why is there this great lie, and what's the purpose of it, and where does it originate?
Mario.
Yeah.
That's the final boss in this series.
I love this is the first time. I was thinking about that. We haven't made any Mario references.
I know, right?
And I like purposefully didn't, because I consciously thought about it, and there we go. We did it. but yeah,
it had to happen eventually.
Yes. But there's clearly something going on. But you're right about his sort of little private army, and they even mention that he's basically runs it like a mob. And we even have a character who, that was her plane, and they want compensation. They're mercenaries basically. And so, that is interesting how they're going to bump heads. And like I said, what exactly is his goal? I want to know is it just within the city? Is this something we still don't completely know how the world works?
Yeah, they mentioned that the city of Gunma, I can't remember, and Inahara, that those two prefectures or two places didn't like each other. And there's kind of something in the first episode where they're talking how one of the prefectures was claiming they already killed Bisco, which turned out to not be true, and the other city was upset about that. So yeah, the whole world thing, like, how nerdy is it? You and I did you think to yourself at any time, I hope we get more politics in this? Like,
yeah, actually,
I did too. It's like, I want to know why is that? I blame Battlestar Galactica because I think that was one of the first things that I got into that had like a lot of politics in it, in entertainment, to where I was like, this is good. In the city, though, we get a lot more mushroom action with Bisco. He trashes the clinic, pisses off Dr. Panda, Milo. Milo wants to do nothing but treat patients. He wants to treat the old man and the doctor before they have to escape. He wants to treat Bisco down in the sewer. He's like, let me sew up your face. Dude dodged that bullet at the gate. Forgot to mention that. And they devise a distraction and an escape plan, and that goes through. However, the governor and Pawoo both kind of guess that he might not be going the way he's distracting, and we eventually get to the third part of our review here, which will have to come after this ad from our sponsors over at Grow Generation.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. The Grow Generation commercial team is armed with industry-leading professional consultants. Grow Generation's team will help you fully manage any size or scale project. They offer turnkey facility designs, cultivation room design, and on-site project consultation. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
All right, thank you guys so much for sponsoring the episode as always. So Brian, the last part that I wanted to kind of talk about is another great action sequence, and that's the showdown between Pawoo and and Bisco, man. I must say, all of the animation here is great. I wouldn't call any of it groundbreaking or wholly unique. It's just executed great. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that they're wanting to do, the imagery that they're trying to invoke when you need to feel speed or feel weight, like I can feel it all. It's really awesome, and a lot of it was really on display in this fight because it felt a lot closer than some of the long distance archery battles, even though this was a lot shorter. And Pawoo showed herself to be quite the badass. It ends with him having with Bisco having shot an arrow through her sword, and that's after he had shot that arrow through the escargot fighter, which upset not only the plane's owner, but the governor was like, "Wait, he did what?" And Pawoo seems really shocked that he's able to shoot this arrow through the blade of hers. It's not a sword; it's like a staff sword of some sort. Yeah. Great fight, great animation, and makes me really interested in what's going to happen between Pawoo and Bisco, because, like you pointed out, mushrooms are not this bad thing. She's got rust. I don't know, man. Your thoughts on that whole fight and character moments?
Yeah, it was cool, and her armor was giving me some Bubblegum Crisis vibes a little bit. Going to that whole sort of cyberpunk, thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Rust-punk.
I still like that. Yeah, it's Rust Punk. I'm with it, including the motorcycle and all that. Yep. It's going to be interesting, looking at like the opening credits, just trying to gauge where the story's going. It seems like she's going to be a somewhat of an antagonist, but in a non-understanding way. Like she's not going to understand what they're trying to do, and so she's going to be just fulfilling her duties and her job. So that's going to be interesting because she's clearly highly skilled. We have, like you said, two characters that are extremely skilled, and where that's going to continue to go forward, I don't know, but yeah.
I found all of the, like I said, I found all the animation to not be anything out of this world, but just executed. I don't want to say it was perfectly executed for what they wanted to do.
It didn't feel it didn't feel like a budget anime. And I've seen several that where you're like, clearly they didn't have the the largest budget, and you got a lot of still frames, but no, it's working. Yeah.
And one I guess kind of since we talk about technical stuff in these reviews often, one of the last things that I kind of noticed about both episodes really was the pacing is good, man. Like neither episode dragged on, neither one even felt 24 minutes either. Like they're intense. Like after Christine and I finished watching Tuesday afternoon or evening, whenever it was, I looked at her, I was like, that's intense, man. The whole show feels intense. I feel in a good way, like not necessarily edge of my seat, like oh my god, what's going to happen, but just do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like conveying it.
I don't know if you noticed this, but they speak very quickly. All the dialogue is really fast.
That might be it.
But it's a very fast-paced series. There's never a point where it really slows down, and even when it slows down, those scenes move quickly. To the point, it's the kind of anime when you get to the end, you're like, "That's it." Like it's one of those, which is great. Very, very fun. It doesn't feel this, and this isn't a negative. It doesn't feel like a lot of animes will have that episode is very, beginning, middle, and end. It feels like a complete sort of little mini story. This one, it doesn't, to me at least. It's just like go, 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 go. And it's going to be interesting. This is going to be one that will be very interesting in a rewatch, just the way it's laid out. But yeah, it's very fast paced.
Yeah. I'm digging it. They're not wasting any frames. They're not wasting any time, and I mean, all that could change. Episode five, this could all just fall apart. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope not. I don't think so. It got better. I know some shows, it's like the newness from episode 1 kind of wears off, and episode 2 is almost like a sophomore slump album, if you will, where you're kind of like, oh man, it was better the first time around, and then sometimes that third or fourth episode kicks in, and it's all good. But last week, like you said, you can't really judge too much. We even looked for like something to complain about and couldn't really find too much of substance. Here again, I don't think there's anything to complain about, but in a way, the trajectory moved up, like the quality, because we got more character moments, more world building. And yes, Jammer, you can balance world building and character development. See, he heard me call him out on our Bell review.
Oh yeah, he listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, he did.
Because I didn't come to the end.
Either that or he skipped to our grades or something. But he checked it out. I was like, I'm not hiding it. I hope you guys come at me on Slack, be like, you said this? Yeah, I said it. It was funny. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, Jammer's very, very fond of character at the expense of world. Like, loves the fuck out of it, and that's fine. That's fine. I got my issues with like in-universe consistency. Looking at you, Star Wars, Book of Boba Fett, looking at you, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Jammer had said that it must be, he admired like my admiration of consistency, but he said it must be tiring always looking for that. I was like, no, having an appreciation for consistency is not tiring. People being inconsistent is tiring. So yeah, but yeah, I love it. I think they've done a really good job here, man. There's no point in doing any like, oh, what's gonna happen next episode? People are gonna fight. Some weird shit's gonna happen.
Yes, a giant dog will attack or some shit. I mean, did you see the whales in the opening?
The whales in the OPP.
I'm waiting for that.
Christine's like, what the fuck with the whale? What the fuck with the whale?
Strap a machine gun on them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but here's the question: will we get sharks with freaking laser beams or not? That's what we need. Yeah, whale imagery, man. Japanese and whaling has a history. Some would call not so pretty history that still continues on, and not just in Japan, but a lot of Asian and island nations in the Pacific. But not just the whaling side of things, but there's other cultural aspects with it. We saw them in Bell. Hosoda actually has used whales in a few different movies, including Summer Wars and Bell. So yeah, but these ones are pretty badass fucking whales with like chin. Well, I guess that's like a chin tattoos and shit. I love it, man. Like I said, it's great that this episode gave us more than just badass imagery. Like, I'm now at least knee deep into the world,
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it. Anyways, Brian, any last thoughts on episode 2 for Sabikui?
Just that, we're not scoring the individual episodes,
No.
but for me, this goes way up from last week in my opinion. So it's very excited to see next week.
Yeah, and hopefully I joked saying I'm gonna have to start providing proof of life on these shows Christine's not showing up for, but hopefully she will be here next week. She's been watching them with me and enjoying it. She was really confused with the first episode, like most of us were, but she really enjoyed episode episode 2. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for checking out the Anime-Versal Reviews podcast this week. Christine and I might do an extra episode and review Tony Kawa, Over the Moon for You, a really cool slice of life relationship anime, something out there, a married couple in an anime. Like in the first episode, so married, love you, kiss, hold hands, like it's cool, it's adorable. It's not for everyone. It's for married people and people that like rom-coms, which is not me. But yeah, we might do that. But regardless, thank you for checking us out. Follow us on whatever podcast app you are listening to us on right now. Leave some reviews or thumbs up, down, stars, whatever your platform allows you to do. And if you're watching us on the Genreverse podcast channel on YouTube, thank you. Please hit subscribe. Help us grow to the awesome 5,060 plus subscribers over on the LRM YouTube channel, where you can get all of the celebrity interviews there. But the podcast network also has Daily Cup of Genre, covering everything in entertainment and geek pop culture news. The Cantina, currently reviewing Book of Boba Fett, Breaking Geek Radio, Marvel Multiverse Mayhem. A lot of really great content over there on our podcast channel on YouTube and the network, and LRMonline.com, Genreverse.com. Keep an eye out in the next couple months. Anime-Versal Reviews is going to still be part of the Genreverse podcast network, but we're going to get our own RSS feed, our own podcast channels, so to speak. All of the shows will, and they'll funnel into the big podcast network channel. But yeah, it'll be cool. Brian does some YouTube stuff. Brian, talk about it.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. The channel is PulpMythos, and I talk about shows like 1883, Raised by Wolves, and Snowfall. So check it out.
Very cool. Indeed, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back with episode 3 next week. Bye.